guys, welcome back to the channel, and on this week's adventure we're visiting Spurn Point in East Yorkshire.
After we arrived at site, we went for a walk to Kilnsea Beach. The remains on the beach are of the former Godwin Battery, used in both the First and Second World Wars. It had gun emplacements, searchlights, barracks, officers' mess, a hospital, and was the terminus for the military railway running down to further fortifications at Spurn Point. A beautiful end to our first day. The next morning we set off to walk to the meeting point for the Spurn Safari. The Unimog is now the only means of motorised transport for the public to access the tip of Spurn Point. Spurn is a narrow sandal tidal island located off the tip of the coast of the East Riding of Yorkshire that reaches into the North Sea and forms the north bank of the mouth of the Humber estuary. It was a spit with a semi-permanent connection to the mainland, but a storm in 2013 made the road down to the end of Spurn impassable to vehicles at high tide. The island is over 3 miles long, almost half the width of the estuary at that point, and as little as 50 yards wide in places. The lighthouse was built in 1895 and stands 128 feet high. It was designed by Thomas Matthews. In 1957 the lighthouse was converted to a acetylene gas operation. The new systems were automated. The keepers therefore moved out and their cottages were demolished. Due to improvements in navigation, the light was decommissioned in 1985. The lifeboat station at Spurn Head was built in 1810. Owing to the remote location, houses for the lifeboat crew and their families were added a few years later. The station is now one of only a very few in the UK which has full-time paid staff. The Spurn Peninsula was heavily fortified during the First and Second World Wars to protect the ports of Hull, Immingham and Grimsby. Thanks to an amazing group of volunteers, access to the remaining buildings and bunkers is once again possible.
Housing 2 guns. So this was these are called the twin 6-pound guns. They would have had a canopy over top of them, which is where you can see like the metalwork and things, and then they would have had a little bit of a tower behind them, and then, like I say, the camouflage over the top. And then between the two walls, the gap that you can see between the two walls on both sections, that would have been the gun's turning point. So that would have been its sight. The reason it was scraped flat is because the guns needed a clear line of sight. There's no point in shooting out through the bushes, otherwise if they shot at anything there would be 2 corridors that went out. So the Ministry of Defence completely scraped it all the way probably parallel to where we are now on the sea side and to the estuary side on this side. What was also in front of here was a semicircle of searchlights. So this is just one of the guns that was on Spurn. There's other ones that are based around the site, all the way in like a semicircle. In front of each one of them guns would have been 1 or 2 searchlights. Each one of them searchlights would have lit up a section of sea and sky. I mentioned a couple of times that we have a fantastic group of volunteers. On Tuesdays when they do the tunnel clearing and stuff, you know, they're working potentially underground or in buildings that have got sand blown up against them. But one of the tasks they did last winter was to actually clear this gun. So this gun is what, you know, they've just collapsed all the roof in and everything. It's got all the vegetation that's growing into it. It looks a mess. It's just covered in everything. That one on this side to the right of me was exactly the same, if not worse than this side. But over about 2 months, the volunteers managed to clear the whole of that gun.
So I'm just entering World War II bunker. So it's got 2 gunning points, and one has been cleared out, and this is one that's been cleared out. So. So I'm now at the part where they haven't cleared it. So this is what that looked like. Massive place.
Spurn is now managed by the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust. The unique landscape and mix of habitat attracts a wide range of species of birds, insects and other wildlife, as well as a varied collection of plants and wildflowers, making it an extremely important ecological site. Thanks to Adam, our guide on this safari. We've really enjoyed it and hope to visit this beautiful and remote coastline again very soon. The Driftwood campsite is only small and can accommodate up to about 8 campervans. There is a shower and toilet on site, as well as plenty of information about the local area. We can highly recommend this campsite and we'll definitely be back. Once we'd packed away, we headed back to Kilnsea to spend a couple of hours on the beach. home, we stopped at Withensea for fish and chips and a picture with one of the puffins from the puffin trail. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed our adventure, please like and subscribe or leave a comment. See you on the next one.